sliced. Lost the trail and found the trail about the third time already, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing great.
So how did this whole adventure start? So you're here in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
How did you two end up losing feeling in your toes at 13,000 feet? Let's just kind of go step by step. Like where did it all begin?
Well, we originally I guess we could start with the multi-pitch climb. So we started multi-pitch climbing Tuesday. It was like something fun to do. And then we didn't end up finishing, so we went back on Thursday. Or wait, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And then, well, I guess that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
So we multi-pitch climb Tuesday.
Yeah,
right?
multi-pitch climb Tuesday.
We're just trying to find some stuff to fill the days, have some fun.
Tried, and then back on Saturday, finished it.
Right.
It ended up, all in all, it took like 6 hours.
So we ended up hiking back in the dark.
Yeah, 6 hours and 3 pitches. So
Summited during the sunset. Yeah. Technically goes at 6 pitches. We did it in 3.
yeah,
And it still took 6 hours to do.
yeah, hiked out in the dark, got back.
And then realized we need some tools, right?
Yeah. After discussing it a little bit, we were like, oh yeah, we should probably grab crampons and like an ice axe and what else did we get? Boots. Oh yeah, I needed hiking boots because the crampons wouldn't fit over my regular boots. So.
Right. So we go to REI at 7:15.
Yeah, actually, when we finished the climb at 6,
Right.
I was like, oh well, seeing how we have to get up at midnight. Well,
Right.
probably should be going to bed now, but
Yeah.
we still got to grab all this equipment first.
Yeah.
Stop by REI.
Get all our equipment. Grab some dinner on the way home because we're starving. We haven't eaten yet. We got home at
9ish.
9 or so. Packed everything up as best we thought. Set our alarms for midnight and got a solid 2 hours of sleep.
Somehow at midnight when I woke up, I was super stoked. I was like, this is the best thing ever. I didn't breathe at all last night. And my sinuses are stuffed. My throat hurts. It's midnight. We're gonna go hike for 15 hours in the cold.
We're gonna go hike Long's Peak.
Mountain. For some reason. That I forgot, but I still want to go. Yep.
So it ended up taking us 16 hours
Yeah.
to not reach the summit.
You didn't reach the summit. That's great.
Yeah. So we woke up at midnight, got functional. You made breakfast, some really
Made
good
some sausages, split them.
cheese, yeah. Made some wraps. Or no, we didn't make wraps actually. I don't know why we didn't make some
We
sandwiches.
brought like no food.
We brought no food, which was a terrible life choice. We brought 8 Cliff Bars,
Yeah.
6
6 shot blocks.
2 of the shot blocks, the Toblerone, the 2 of Toblerone chocolate,
5 Red Bulls.
5 Red Bulls, and then we chopped up some cheese and some tortillas. And that was the sum total of food we had. Packed up at the trail, started going. Down the wrong trail.
10 feet down the trail, I'm like, why is my headlight so dim? And then previously Nate was like, oh yeah, like your headlamp's good, right? Like, yeah, it's great. Batteries are good, like no worries. Like apparently my nephew got into them.
Because he likes to play with flashlights.
Yeah, he like turns on flashlights and then walks away. Like, oh yeah, we need a flashlight on, but I'm just gonna leave this on and walk away.
So we find out 10 feet into the trail that your headlamp is dead.
It's toasted.
Yeah. It's a good thing I brought extra batteries, but I only brought one set. That we used.
Our emergency batteries 10 feet into the trail. The wrong trail.
Yeah. So we're off to a good start here at 3 a.m.
Well, we're somewhere in the Rockies.
Nate tried his best to get us lost.
So
We're
far, so
still
good.
on the trail.
Yeah, this guy navigates too well. His ice axe already stabbed me, so good thing I wear red because you can't see the blood. Just,
Made above tree line.
Once we made it above tree line, the wind started to get really bad.
Currently hiding behind a rock. So there's a little bit of wind shelter, although my legs are still getting sliced. The wind is ridiculous. It's about 4:45. See the city off in the distance, which is pretty sweet. I kind
could hear it. We were below tree line, just
Yeah.
yelling at us and not.
It's like that sounds super scary.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound fun.
Still below tree line, and the wind's already kind of.
So we made it above tree line, no problem. And as we're hiking, we managed to find some boulders along the way.
Yeah, so we're like
Ducking for
huddled
cover.
together. Like Nate's like this picture. It's like a picture of the summer. Like we turn around, like yeah, everything's covered in snow and like
Right.
rock.
And it's pitch black still. It's
And
not
it's-
even.
yeah, it's, the
like-
sun's not even coming up. So we're like, yeah, we think that's it. That's the right route. Like,
That outline looks correct.
So, first meal of the day.
This wind is terrible. I don't know how well you can see it. There's a beautiful sunrise off in the distance. Absolutely gorgeous. And now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
My tube is frozen. This isn't. It sucks to be me. I have a frozen tube.
yeah.
And there's one other guy, a photographer, taking some photos, and we accidentally followed him to the wrong route.
The wrong route, right?
So we had to backtrack maybe. Well, it was a quarter mile there and a quarter mile back.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. We then got back on the right trail, made it all the way, and then
Like, screwed around.
right, we got lost, turned around.
We like watched the sunset come up and everything. And
Well, at that time of day, it's called sunrise.
oh yeah. Watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
And then we like took a bunch of pictures and like screwed around a little bit, and then the trail was kind of like dumb because it was definitely not like a straight line. If you just drew a straight line from like where we left the tree line to like where Granite Pass was, and then to the boulder field, and then to the summit, like it'd been super
It
straightforward.
would have been a lot easier.
The trail like curved around this huge, massive like valley almost, and then it was Granite Pass, and then it moved on to boulder field, and it's like they're just trying to add miles to make it harder or something.
Yeah. Trying to screw with it. I don't know. But yeah, so we finally made it to the boulder field.
Made it to the boulder field.
But yeah. And then slowly just started hopping around the boulder field and made it to the keyhole.
Yeah.
So we're doing good on time, that's the point. There's plenty of sun.
Yeah.
Super
Super sunny.
sunny, not a cloud in the sky. You thought there were going to be clouds on us, but there weren't. Because we looked off into the distance and saw clouds, and you're like, oh, those are going to be on us in 10 seconds.
Actually, on the hike on the way up, like the whole summit was like smothered in this huge cloud. So I was just like, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, that was a
We're
little
gonna get up
terrifying.
there and not gonna be able to see anything.
I
It's
remember
gonna be,
seeing
like
that.
snowing and awful.
Whiteout conditions,
Yeah.
fog.
It was actually like super nice weather the whole time.
Yeah, it was really good. We got definitely super
The
lucky.
sun came out. It was beautiful. So.
So we make it to the keyhole, feeling good,
Mhm.
doing good. And,
Hit a little bit of snow after that.
right, and that's when we decided to put on the crampons.
This stuff is crampon ready. Just glad it's not a sheer drop off. Then I'd be scared.
And we had the right crampons.
Yeah.
That's a key. That's a key thing.
And the shoes, like we made sure the crampons fit the
Right,
shoes,
exactly,
which was
yeah.
like the pictures make it look super scary. But
Yeah, and then, I mean, it goes off into basically a drop off
yeah,
filled with rocks. You don't really want to,
yeah. If you slipped,
Waterfall.
you'd be pretty screwed up
Right.
for a while. So
but you could always do an ice axe arrest,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which we looked up how to do that on YouTube.
the night before,
Yep. Watched it a whole one time.
dude, then we're like, oh, I was like, where are we gonna practice? It's like, oh, we'll practice on the hike. Oh yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So thankfully we didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I think we're both too scared to fall that we just didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, we were actually being pretty safe about it. I mean, like as safe as we could, I think,
Yeah.
without like ropes or anything, which the hiking guide didn't explain at all. You could totally use ropes on that hike / climb.
Yeah. I think in the summer not, and the guide seemed more geared for the summer.
Yeah.
So
I feel like no one's crazy enough to do this in the winter. So.
right. Just probably for good reason.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we just started kicking a path, and we were following those bullseyes. So once you come through the keyhole,
Yeah.
there's
ton of
bullseyes, and
markers.
bullseyes, and bullseyes that you're just kind of hunting for.
Mhm.
So we made it there, and then we made it to the bottom of kind of the couloir.
Right.
It's
It's
about-
a big goalie.
Yeah, it's 600-foot goalie,
It's huge.
and it's maybe 10:30, I think.
Somewhere around there.
And we look up, and we're just like, "This is gonna suck." You know?
You couldn't even see the top.
Yeah, you didn't even
There
know
was
what
like
was going on.
snow everywhere, and we're just like, we can't even like straight walk this or anything. Like, I'm sure there was a walkway like that zigzagged up maybe, but
We didn't find it, so we
it
just
wasn't obvious.
no. So we just started bear crawling, basically. Just axe, crampon.
Yeah.
Axe, grab onto a rock.
Yeah. So normally like you would have like 2 axes probably, and like a follower, but maybe I don't even know. But like yeah, we're just like punching holes in the snow and like
Going up,
climbing with the ice axe with one hand. Yeah.
taking lots of breathers.
Oh my god.
So
You take like 10, like literally in my head I was like, alright, go 20 steps, wait 20 seconds. Like 20 steps, 20 seconds. You know, just,
It was rough.
I was like, I'll make it halfway to that marker. Like, and then I'll like breathe. It's like a fat kid, like you're trying to eat, you know, you're just like. We stopped for a snack and I was eating chocolate and I was out of breath. I was just sitting there eating chocolate out of breath.
Miserable.
I was like,
Right, because you weren't used to the altitude. I
Yeah.
guess I was a little bit more used to
at
it.
that point we were probably at the base of the goal, we were like
I think it was-
5-ish.
No, it's not that. No, I think at the base of the goalie we're at 13. I think
Oh,
the top
okay.
of the goalie is around 13.6 or so,
Alright.
and then it's another 400 or 500 to the summit.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we're at 13 at the base. So that's
So basically bear crawling it
right.
up a slope at 13,000.
Right, and it was a solid 35-degree slope, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, over rocks and ice, had to do some ice pits, and
Yeah.
we finally made it to the top of the gully, and it was 12:15, and
Like I got to the top and I wasn't even enjoying it. It was like
yeah,
a spectacular view, like once in a lifetime view, and just, you're looking around and I'm like, I can't even think right now.
you just feel like crap.
Yeah, like trying to enjoy it as best I could, but
Right. Well, and at that point too, we hadn't had enough food.
Mhm.
Right, we were trying to ration the little food we had.
Right.
We didn't have enough water because our tubes froze in our packs, so we had to, you know,
Mhm.
basically the only time we got to drink was when we fully disassembled our packs and everything,
Mhm.
drank and put it all back together. So that made water intake a little bit harder.
yeah, made it pretty difficult.
And we spent maybe 5 minutes at that point.
Maybe
Took one photo,
one photo of us at the top.
looking like crap, getting our faces ripped off by the
Yeah.
wind, which had been happening all day.
Mhm.
But and then we're like, all right,
Time to head back down,
time to reverse this.
which I was not looking forward to at all because it took us forever to freaking get up there, crawling through all that snow and everything. So
But thankfully, this time we have gravity on our side,
Mhm.
so it was a lot easier.
yeah, it was a lot easier to breathe.
Yeah. And as soon as we got back down to 13,000,
Felt a lot better.
yeah.
This is some like real mountaineering shit. Is it now?
And we're in the middle of a gully,
Yeah.
hating ourselves for putting ourselves here.
We're headed right there. We just went up and down that shit, which unfortunately is not the summit,
Which sucks.
which sucks.
Sucks really bad.
We're cold, we're thirsty, we feel like shit.
Everything hurts.
Yeah, everything hurts a
Oh my
lot.
god, my toes. I haven't felt my toes in like 4 hours.
Yeah. Actually, the blood flow came back to my toes at the summit, and that hurt like hell. Thankfully, it's gone now, so I don't feel it.
So then we slowly trudged out, and it was a lot easier this time because we could not only follow the bullseyes, but we could also just follow our feet. You know, there wasn't any new snow, and the sun hadn't melted anything or whatnot, so we could just follow our old path.
It feels like we're doing like some Super Mario stuff on Smash. I can't remember the targets.
Sturdy the whole way.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely good.
there was some worry about avalanches, but I think it was necessary. But
And we were safe about it. So we made pretty good time back to the keyhole, and took off our crampons there.
after we beat them to crap on
Right.
the rocks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we blunted our crampons and our ice tools now on the
Yeah.
rocks.
Oh my god. Scratched my brand new ice axe to hell, basically.
that Hugh had just gotten about 12 hours earlier.
Not even 12 hours old.
That was good. Made it to the keyhole, and then we just started kind of trudging down the boulder field a little bit. Slowly made it and just kind of beeline for Granite Pass.
Yep.
Staying on the trail, of course, which sucked because it just winded so much. We
Yeah.
wanted to cut, but couldn't. Although at one point we did take a little bit of a detour
A little bit.
and took a slide down the
Oh
some
yeah,
of the snow slopes,
Yeah.
which
That
is
was
pretty
fun.
good. You know, trying to have some fun with it because at this point we had realized we're hiking out in the dark. The sun was setting so fast. And
Yeah. Literally, you could like watch the sun, or like the edge, go above the trees, and you're just like definitely gonna be in the dark,
yeah, this is gonna
no matter
suck.
what.
Found the trail and just started trucking and
Yeah, even though our legs were like nothing at this point.
yeah, we're exhausted. We haven't
Destroyed.
had much food. We haven't had much water. I've got a liter left. You killed yours.
Killed mine. So like, when you eat something and like 5 minutes later you suddenly feel like a burst of energy, you know, like you haven't had enough to eat all day. Like it's a terrible sign.
Yeah, it was not good for us.
Yeah.
But then it was about 5:15, and we found the sign.
Yeah.
2.5 miles to the car.
And we were feeling pretty
We were
good
pretty
about
good.
it. We're like, all right, spirits are high. Like, let's get out of here.
And we're stoked,
Yeah.
and we just started trucking down that trail, like nobody's business. And the thing with the trail was, I mean, you recognized it, but I didn't because it was so dark out. We were just kind of, you know, with the wind and everything, we were just moving what we could. So you recognized about the trail, and at points we would lose it, but if you kept hiking another, 50 yards or so, we would run right back into it. So it was, we just kind of kept moving. The trail would disappear and appear, and we would be good.
Yeah, so like how it was like a big like flat area where the wind would just like blast. So like as soon as you got to the tree line though, like all the snow and the wind and everything would just dump in these trees. So like everything in the trees was covered. So like we made it to the tree line, and then like the whole trail, like all the trails, like everything was just covered in snow. So then like we just started following other people's footprints,
Which worked for a while.
which worked for a decent amount of time, and then we're
Oh.
like, oh yeah, look, it's a skier's path.
Yeah, I think somewhere in our delusion, like we were just so tired
Yeah, like
or
out
something,
of it.
and we were just moving so fast that to us the trail just disappeared. We were just going, and then there was nothing, and we figured it was the same thing. We just walk another 50 yards or so, and
Pick it up again.
right. But this time it was post holing for not even 50 yards,
Yeah, I know.
And we found some tracks, and then we lost them. Found another set and lost those, and then we found the skier tracks.
We're like, oh yeah, let's just.
So we decided to follow
the
that.
skier.
But instead of following it up, we followed it, or instead of following it down, we
Yeah.
followed it up the hill, thinking that would, we get to where they started. Meanwhile, it's about 6 o'clock now, and we're treated with the worst sunset ever. Primarily because it was like a time bomb, because we're now lost in the wilderness, in encroaching darkness. So I think we gave up on the skier tracks relatively soon, but we learned some good methods on the ski tracks.
Well, the thing is like moving in the snow any direction was difficult because like it was like past our waists, like at least 4 feet, probably 5 feet in some sections deep. So it was super hard to move, and then like going uphill was just like impossible. It was literally like, I don't even know, trying to like swim uphill in water or something. It was ridiculous.
It was impossible for us, not to on top of the fact that we were already fatigued. We didn't have much.
Yeah, so we're
energy to begin with.
super fatigued, like out of it, like just kind of like hopeless. Moving along the skier's path, and then we're just like, I think that's why we gave up so quickly.
Right. We did it for not too long, and then I think I said, let's just go downhill. Because we looked at the map, the PDF map, and read it completely wrong.
So wrong.
But it looked good given our fatigue and the information we had. It looked good. So we just started going downhill, and we found with the skier's path, going uphill, crawling worked really well to distribute our weight. But we found going downhill, rolling worked really well. So we just started rolling down this hill.
Literally just rolled.
Rolled. Avoid a tree, roll a couple
Yeah.
times. Avoid another tree, roll a couple times.
Which to Nathan it was no big deal, but like to me I got super freaking dizzy. Like, I was just like, I would like spin like 3 times and just like sit there for a minute and be like, okay, I can maybe go again. And then like I would like crawl down on my chest. Like it's probably like the most pathetic I've ever felt because you're just like don't know where you go. don't know like where we are. Can't really move, so like action is difficult. So
Your legs are frozen. Not frozen, but
like legs are like covered in snow.
right.
Yep.
Losing sunlight.
No sunlight.
So we just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
You just kept going downhill.
Probably for like I don't know, for like a third of a mile to a half, or something like that.
Somewhere in there.
Roughly half a mile.
And then I got the genius idea that we had used Google Maps to drive up to the place, to the trailhead, and I knew we had to be close, so I thought it might be kind of cached on my phone. And by some miracle,
Yeah.
it was. And I was able to find where we were, and I saw that we were only maybe, 100 or so yards away from the trail.
Like super close.
Right. So we just started slowly crawling and rolling and whatever we could to get to that point. And then once we finally made it to the trail, it was. We hugged.
It's a special moment.
Yeah. Because at that point we knew we weren't gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we blitz out of there. That last mile.
Yeah, and then that last mile was the longest mile. But it was good, sort of, because our legs were frozen, so they didn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, actually, it did.
You know?
It didn't feel bad to hike.
Yeah, so just hauling ass downhill, we didn't really, our knees didn't hurt or anything because they were frozen.
Nice and cold.
Yeah. We finally made it back to the parking lot at 7 p.m.